Hello again, it's me, Jessie Ray. So last weekend I posted a video of Dr. Ricker Edgar from the University of Nebraska at Omaha at the Magic of Chemistry for Girl Scouts making elephant toothpaste. And I immediately went home and decided, oh, I'm going to make a kid-friendly version of it and put it up on my YouTube page and send it to people. And I did that, but I did some no-nos. Tisk tisk. The first no-no I did, and a very, very observant couple of young ladies called me out on it, and I have to acknowledge that, and I want to redo this and do this correctly. I was not wearing goggles. That's leaving a bad example. I want to apologize for that. And I also wasn't wearing gloves. The gloves part really isn't that so much important because the reagents I'm using at home really aren't dangerous enough to cause any damage. I mean, I guess they could technically get onto my hands and maybe fizz a little bit, but it really shouldn't be too much of an issue using the normal 3% hydrogen peroxide that we buy at the grocery store. Looks like that. It's maybe a little bit more concern using the hydrogen peroxide that you get at the hair salons. It says 40V. That doesn't mean 40%. What it actually means is the oxygen in the hydrogen peroxide, it's H2O2, the oxygen will actually release itself 40 times. So this is actually 3, 6, 9. It's 12% hydrogen peroxide and the rest water. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. You ready to do this? Alright. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some yeast and activate it with a little bit of water. I have some warm water here. This is actually a teaspoon in each one of these little cups. You just need enough water just to get it wet. It doesn't need to be like, fully submerged or anything. Just enough to like wet it. I warmed up this water to about 100 degrees or so. You just need it to be a little bit lukewarm. I'm going to stir that up and get that going. So each of these is going to go into a little bit more water in there, into the solution that I'm doing here. So I'm making some yeast water. So in the example that Dr. Ricker Edgar did, he used, what was he using? He used potassium iodide and 30% concentration of hydrogen peroxide. That is not wanting to stir for me. It's clumping up. This one's not clumping up so much. Anyways, so we're going to do this again using stuff that normal people can get. I mean, because first of all, getting hydrogen peroxide at 30%, you can get like a laboratory supply store online, but it's not really the safest thing to be fooling around with at the house. Hydrogen peroxide at that concentration can burn your skin, and that's no good. Nobody wants that. I'm going to get a little bit more water in there because it's just not wanting to stir for me. Anyways. Alright, so over here I have two empty bottles. The one on the left, I'm going to put, ignore the dirty dishes please, I'm going to put half a cup or so, maybe 3/4 a cup of the normal 3% hydrogen peroxide, the kind that you get at the normal grocery store. And sorry for the camera angles, I'm doing this all by myself. And on the one on the right, I'm going to put some half a cup, 3/4 a cup or so of the hydrogen peroxide that you buy at the beauty supply store. Looks about even. The exact measurements don't need to be like completely precise. Because I love color, we're going to put a dollop, just one drop in each one of food coloring. Woo! And right here. That might be a little bit too much, but oh well. Give that a little stir. Isn't that fancy? Oh. And we're going to put a squirt of dish soap. Any kind of dish soap will do. As long as it makes bubbles, it'll work. So the reaction is actually already happening. Hydrogen peroxide is already oxidizing. However, it's happening so slow we can't see it. So by Dr. Richter Egger, by adding the potassium iodide, it made the reaction happen a lot faster and using less energy. So on the first one on the left, I'm going to go ahead. I've let my yeast kind of warm up a little bit and get mixed. I'm going to go ahead and put him in there. Oh, great. Watch that one happen. The one on the right, I'm going to go ahead and let go also. This is my 40V. So, as you can see, you can do it at home, and the reactions are quite different. The one on the left, using the 3% hydrogen peroxide, it still goes, but nowhere near as fast as the one on the right, which is 4 times as much concentrated. Something else you might notice is that they're both exothermic, but the one on the right, since it's more concentrated, is a bit warmer. But it's really, really fun. You can actually play around with it. If you can get your parents to order you some other pigments, you can get pigments that are luminescent. And the fun thing about luminescent pigments is that when you put them and do the reaction, if you do it in, only if you do it with yeast, not if you do it with the potassium iodide, if you turn the lights off, they'll glow in the dark, and that's kind of cool. So now it's time for quiz and prize. I will give one very, very lucky young person. This quiz is only going to be for 18 and under. This is not going to be for adults, guys. But I will give you a $5 gift card for a place of your choice. I will send it to you in the mail if you can figure out what is different about this reaction that I'm about to do right now. And I said $10 or $5? $10. Okay. And if you can tell me why, I will make it $15. Gift card to wherever you want to go. So if that's like, Disneyland, not Disneyland, if that's like, what is a store that kids go to? McDonald's? Oh, I don't want to go to McDonald's. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Whoever ends up winning, I'll talk to you and we'll figure it out. But $10 if you can tell me what's different, and $15 if you can tell me why. So, let's do this. Ooh, that is kind of hot. To the person who figures this out, do not touch that without gloves. Okay, well that's just going to keep doing its thing. Alright, well, I am Jessie Rae. I'm about to sign out. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to, oh, it's still going, wow, to share a little bit of home chemistry with you on my crappy little phone camera. But have fun. Do this at home. Not this one, if you can figure it out. Well, you can do it at home, but just make sure you wear gloves and be careful. Love you much. Boop, boop. Bye. Is it off?